Okay, here we go. This is number one. It says a hexagon, and it says find the sum of the measures of the interior angles. We had a little formula for that. Do you remember what it was? N what? N minus 2, what? Times 180. Good. So this is our n, our number of sides. So we go 6 minus 2. I know you can do that in your head, but I'm going to write it down just so that you can know where we got that number from. So 6 minus 2, that's 4. And then it's just 4 times 180. Let's see, 2 times 180 is 360, right? And then another 360 would be what, 720? So that's the sum of the interior angles of a polygon, of a hexagon, I should say. You know, what's that 720? Is that each angle inside of it? No, it's what? Right, it's all of them added up. Exactly right. It's a combination of them all. It's all of them added up. It's the sum of all the angles of the interior angles of a polygon, of a six-sided figure, which is a hexagon. Everybody good with that? All right. 2 is the same thing. 16gon. Now, there's no special name for it, so they just say 16gon, or 16 sides. So what is it, basically? It's just 14 times 180. And I can't do that in my head, but I think it's 2520, according to the book, right? There you go. That's all it is. Just 14 times 180. We good with that? It's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Yep, nothing fancy about that. All right, let's go to number 7. Let's take a look. It says, find the measure of the interior angles of a regular polygon. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It doesn't say find. It says the measure of the interior angles of a regular polygon is given. So the measure of the interior angles. I guess that's the sum. Okay, watch. That's the sum of the interior angles of a polygon. And we want to find out how many sides is that polygon. All right, so it's kind of opposite of what we just did, isn't it? Sides equals question mark. On this one, they told you the number of sides, and you had to find the sum of all the angles. This one, they give you the sum of all the angles, and you got to figure out how many sides are you going to have. So you kind of go backwards on this, wouldn't you? So remember what it was. It was, watch, the sum of the angles was equal to n minus 2 times what? 180, right? That on this problem, on 1 and 2, they told you the number of sides. So you just stuck a number in there, 6 minus 2 times 180. This time they tell you something different. What do they tell you? What is that? That's the sum. All right, so now you take that 900 and you put it in for the sum. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, so we go, watch. 900 equals what? N minus 2 times 180. And now you just do a little bit of algebra with this. What's the algebra? You got to solve for n. It's not that hard. What do you do first, Ben? Divide by 180. That's right. Somebody do that for me. Somebody get a calculator on them. What's 900 divided by 180? Somebody do that. 5? Exactly 5? Okay. So 5 equals n minus 2. That wasn't hard, was it? Just divide by 180. And then, what do we do to get n by itself? Add a 2. So what's n? Just 7. So 7 sides. Makes sense, doesn't it? That gave you trouble? But you know this formula, right? Okay. Right. If you know this formula, then basically you just take this, put it in for this one, right, and then just solve for this. It's opposite. What did we do here? We subtracted 2 and we multiplied by 180. What did we do here? We went completely the other way. No. We didn't add 2. We divided by 180, and then we added a 2, right? Over here we subtracted a 2 and multiplied by 180. On this one, we subtracted a 2 and multiplied by 180. On this one, we divided by 180 and added a 2. We went completely the opposite direction. Does it make sense? All right, because they give you the different stuff. All right, this time they told you the sum. You had to find out how many sides there were. That wasn't so bad, was it? Was 13 the same kind? Oh, this is... No. That was 7. I'm sorry. So 12 and 13 are different. So you should be able to do 7, 8, 9, and 10 then. That should be pretty easy. Just divide by 180, add a 2, and then you're done. Everybody with me on that? All right. Let's get rid of this. Let's look at 12 and 13 now. So 12 looks like a kite, doesn't it?
Wait, so we're supposed to get out Wednesday?
Well, I mean, whether we get out or not, I don't know, but it's supposed to snow like Tuesday when school's out. They said maybe up to 6 inches or something like that. So it's not like a humongous one, but
I just want to get that one huge snowstorm.
I just want to get my test in. That's all I care about. What am I? What do I want to do? What does it reflect? That's what I want. Okay. Wait, I thought I.
You and your midterms.
You have no idea. My goodness, why do I waste my time? I'm so disappointed. I take all this time and effort to let you know exactly what's going on, and then you still ask me the questions.
I'm guessing
What's
look over the time
so long ago?
review the rest of the week after we have. Is that right? Is it midterms next week? Yeah, I might feel my head.
Yeah, they're next week.
I was going like this. And
Yes, they are.
Like,
All right, here we go. Ready? Let's see. This is C. This is G. This D. F. I guess that means this is 3, right? And this is 4. All right, let's see what it says. It says it's a kite. C, D, F, G is a kite. We want to find what G, F is. All right. Now, what's true about a kite? What's true about the intersection of those diagonals of a kite? They're perpendicular. No,
What?
it's a different chapter.
They're.
They are perpendicular to each other. So look, they're asking to solve for GF. GF is this thing right here. Let's just call it X. Is that right? So they want you to find this side right here. So really, the geometry that's involved is just from this chapter anyway. Is just to understand that the kite, diagonals of a kite are perpendicular. If you understand that, you should be able to solve for X. Now, you should be able to do this without doing any arithmetic at all. You should just be able to look at it. I got this is 3. I got this is 4. What's this going to be then? It's going to be 5. Do you remember the 3, 4, 5 triangle? We talked about it this year.
Yeah.
So if you don't, watch. It's 3 squared. See, I'm just so depressed today now already. Because all these things that I harp on, nobody ever listens to me. Oh my goodness. All right. Nah, the Eagles, that doesn't bother me that much because I really didn't expect them to. I mean, I sure didn't expect them to go to the Super Bowl, so I didn't. They weren't that good. They really weren't that good. I mean, the teams they beat were. Nah, that has nothing to do.
They beat the Falcons.
It has nothing to do.
Come on.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the year. That don't
Falcons
count.
are on the Super Bowl.
So anyway, here we go. Watch. What's this? That's 9. Shh. Watch. That's 25. At least the Eagles had a winning record. So look, here we go. Square root both sides, and X is 5. There you go. But you should realize. You should understand that if you have a triangle, right triangle, one leg is 3, the other leg is 4, the hypotenuse is going to be 5. That's something that we talked about earlier in the year, and we're going to talk about it a lot more later on because we're going to have a chapter where we only talk about right triangles. And we're going to, I mean, if you don't remember this by the end of the year, then you might as well just leave the room, okay? So,
Right now?
No, at the end of the year. All right, so it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle. There's other types of special triangles that we'll talk about. That's the most common one. Has anybody taken the SAT yet? Or you're going to take it? Have you taken it? This is probably, my guess is, I mean, I haven't seen the most recent SAT. I haven't seen the most recent SAT, but I could almost guarantee you that if they're going to have some kind of problem on there where they'll give you one side is 3, one side is 4, not just a side, but one leg is 3, one leg is 4, and the other side is 5. Instead of going through all this, which wasn't a whole lot, but it's still, the SAT is a time test. You want to finish in a certain amount of time. Instead of going through this mess right here, you could have looked at it and said, oh, 3, 4, 5, boom, answer's 5. All right? That makes it a lot nicer and a lot easier, doesn't it? There's other types of special triangles also, but we'll talk about those when we get to that chapter. All right? I forget what chapter it is, but we have a chapter that's just on right triangles and nothing else. All right, anyway, there we go. That's number 12. Get rid of some of this. Get rid of this. All right, let's take a look at 13. 13 is a kite as well, isn't it? So that kind of looks like that. Let's copy and paste, and we'll reflect that one. Put it right here. Yes, the test is tomorrow.
Wait, it is tomorrow?
Yes.
What? Come on. Come on.
Okay, here we go. There's our picture.
That's a little crooked.
That's weird.
It probably is a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Okay, you're right. Here we go. This is a kite. If you remember, which you probably don't because nobody remembers anything that I ever teach you, it seems like. I'm learning that today. So look at this. The angles between the angle between these non-equal sides right here. Do you see this side and this side are not equal to each other? The angle between those and the angle between the other two non-equal sides are going to be equal to each other on a kite. Okay, the ones between the equal sides are not equal to each other. Okay, the angles, I should say, between the two equal sides, this one and this one will not be equal to each other. It's always the one between the two non-equal sides. Everybody see that? So this and this have to equal each other. So that's x and that's x. So there's a couple ways I guess you could do this, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking add up all four angles, and what are all four angles going to add up to be? 360. So watch. X plus x is 2x, right? Plus 67 plus 49. That's going to equal 360. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Sure.
All right, because you got four angles. It's quadrilateral. All four angles add up to 360. And now you just solve for x. And that's it. All right, so let's do that. 2x. What's that? That's a 6. That's a 10. That's an 11. That's 116. Equals 360. Subtract 116. So 2x equals, what's that, a 4, that's a 2, and a 4, and a 4, is that right? Divide by 2, 122. Is that the answer? Yep, it is. There it is. So it says angle D. There's angle D. It says find angle D, which is just this angle right here. So that's 122 degrees. That's all there is to it. So what did you have to realize, though? What did you have to realize from this chapter? From this chapter, you had to understand that the angles, the two angles on a kite, between the two non-equal sides. See how this has one mark and this has two? All right? That's the two unequal sides. The angle between those two are equal. So this angle is equal to this angle. All right? That's what you have to remember. And they all add up to 360. There we go. We good? Okay. Anything else while you're looking at this? Okay. Test is tomorrow. And so just be ready for it. I'll let you hang on to this if you want to use it to study from. Collecting it tomorrow, so listen to me. Do not come in tomorrow and say, oh, I left it in my locker, I left it at home, or it's in my book, and my book's in my locker. Okay, you bring it tomorrow. It's due tomorrow, all right? That's your homework, is to remember to bring it in tomorrow. All right, so make sure that you do that.